Happy 3rd anniversary. Get home earlier. I have prepared a surprise for you. You'd like it. After sending the message, Liwan, as known as Mrs. John, puts down her phone and enters the kitchen once again. She turns down the flame of the stove and goes to cut the vegetables, enjoying getting busy as if the reply of the message that she would never get does not affect her mood at all. The housemaid interrupted her. "Let me help you, Mrs. John." "It's all right. Go mind your own thing. I want to make dinner for him on my own." Daisy looked envious. "You and Mr. John really love each other." Wan let out a smile and did not reply. Did she and Jungkook really love each other? Or should she say they were just acting? Jungkook reached home at 7 p.m. and the housemaid was sensible enough to leave. As soon as Wan finished arranging the bowls and chopsticks, she sensed a man's warm breath from behind. Her chin was clamped and she was forcibly kissed on the lip. Feeling startled, she pushed him away. Jungkook put his hand around her waist and pinched her chin. He narrowed his dark eyes and said indifferently, "Didn't you want this by deliberately asking me to come home?" Wan explained softly, "No, today is our 3rd wedding anniversary. I really do have gifts for you." Jungkook released her and tidied his slightly wrinkled shirt, saying bluntly, "You didn't have to give me any gifts. Your surprises never give me joy but shock." The corner of Wan's lips twisted. She did not retort but turned around and entered the kitchen. The last dish was placed on the table shortly. Wan sat opposite Jungkook and poured the red wine into his glass. She then poured for herself too. She took the glass and said, "To our 3rd wedding anniversary, cheers." Jungkook's facial features looked fabulous and mature under the light. He has mesmerizing jawline and straight nose. His tightly pursed thin lips implied he was not satisfied with the wedding anniversary dinner which took place between them. When smiled, she did not expect him to reply her, and she raised the wine glass, gulping down the red wine. Finishing the first glass, she poured the second glass, one glass after the next. At last she was slightly drunk. She lied on the table and looked at the man opposite her who had not shown any change in expression throughout. She drawled, "Jungkook, just for today, can't you at least show me some smile?" "What do you want me to do? Acting crazy with you or celebrate this freaking boring anniversary with you?" "How could it be boring? How many anniversaries would you have throughout your life? It could be no more anniversary after this." As if she was telling a joke, Jungkook sneered. "Would you make it happen?" Wan shook the wine left in the glass, and there were some tears in her eyes after being shined by the gentle lights. Maybe not. Jungkook no longer wanted to waste time on her. He stood up and went upstairs. He took off his necktie and blazer with annoyance. As he was going to unbutton his shirt, a pair of soft hands surrounded his waist from his back, and the smell of alcohol flooded him. "Relax. I have not given you my gift yet." Jungkook turned around and put his hands in the pocket. He looked at her without uttering a word. Wan was blushing. She was staring at him with limp, innocent eyes. Jungkook's adorable rolled. Although he refused to admit, the woman before him was indeed gorgeous, and she was capable to move a man's heart. If not, he would not get tricked by her in the first place. He moved his eyes downward, and there were her lips danced by the red wine. They were red and alluring. When she was moving her hand into his shirt, he almost immediately raised her chin and her eyes had already gone misty. When they were on the bed, she wrapped her hands around his neck. Jungkook placed his hand at her sides and raised his eyebrows, as if he was teasing her silently.
Never sleep, never stop. Every shot from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed.
As Jungkook was going to extend his hand to take something out of the bedside cabinet, when he spoke abruptly, Jungkook grabbed Sebo's. Jungkook, what did you say? Although Ryan knew he heard it clearly, she still repeated, let's divorce. Jungkook was hovering over her, stopped. Jungkook instantly lost his excitement. He got up slowly and asked coldly, Jungkook, how much money do you want this time? She has always been like this, going great lengths for money. Ryan, I don't want a single penny. Ryan took out a divorce agreement from under the pillow and said, have a look. You can sign on it if there is no problem. Jungkook pulled down his face and said, enough is enough. I have no time to play such a ridiculous game with you. Ryan, didn't I say I want to give you a surprise tonight? Look, isn't this the greatest gift ever? Jungkook looked at her with expressionless face. He inexplicably thought that her smile was likely an eyesore. And smiled. Fine. Jungkook, happy divorce. Jungkook spoke after a few seconds. Are you serious? Ryan nodded. Ryan, how sad there is only joy but no shock this time anymore? Jungkook, you better not regret it. Jungkook left straight away after saying only those words. The door was banged shut. Ryan lowered her head and looked at the divorce agreement in her hand, which Jungkook had never glanced at. She only let out a smile at length. That night, Ryan packed all her things up, and her things were too little that they only filled one luggage bag. She did not take any jewelry, bags, shoes, and clothes bought by Jungkook. After all, he was reluctant to buy those for her back then. Those luxurious possessions will become meaningless after they would be divorced. They were completely useless to her. Ryan looked at the divorce agreement left on the tea table when she left. She passed by the dining hall and glanced at the dining table. The cutleries in front of Jungkook were clean and shiny. He did not use them at all. The wedding anniversary was as unwelcoming as she imagined, but luckily it overlapped with their divorce anniversary. Jungkook might smile after brooding for a long time when he would think about it in the future. That could be the most satisfying thing she had done to him since they got married for such a long period of time. Sitting inside the cab, Ryan looked at the changing view outside and suddenly felt that load was taking off her mind. She had become the fake daughter-in-law of a wealthy and dignified family for 3 years. It was time for her to return to her slum. After knowing Ryan wanted to get Jessie, who was her best friend, chastised Jungkook indignantly for 10 minutes and then said, "That bastard really didn't give you a single cent. He spent tons of money on those young models outside. And he's actually that stingy towards you who's his wife?" One replied, "I don't think he's stingy though. I have taken quite a big sum of money from him these 3 years. He's already kind enough to not ask me to pay the debt." Jessie, "You can't think like that. You are husband and wife. His money is your money and your money is your money. Plus he takes advantage of you every day. What's wrong in spending some of his money?" Ryan's temple chopped and she said, "Could you use another word?" Jessie calmed down for a moment. "I'm sorry, I couldn't help it." Ryan curled up on the couch, yet she still could not hold back her anger. She then scolded, "I spoke up about the divorce today, and that bastard actually asked how much money do I want. He didn't even look at the divorce agreement, as if he's scared that I will make unreasonable demands or take his dot. Come on." Jessie, "By the way, why did you want to get divorced? Why not just stick to him and see who's going to give up first?" Having heard that, Ryan calmed down once more. Ryan, "Oh, Shomi has become pregnant." Main Shomi was a young model who had little renown recently. She was very close to Jungkook, and anyone who was not blind could tell that they had an unusual relationship. Ryan had gotten married to Jungkook for 3 years. She knew how much Jungkook hated her. Going home twice a month was his greatest tolerance limit. Their intimacy every time was just a matter of routine. Jungkook did not have any single feeling towards her. He would do anything to make her feel pain. Shomi was not the first woman who showed up beside Jungkook, and Ryan did not pay attention to her. It was until 1 week ago, when she was delightfully choosing present for the upcoming 3rd wedding anniversary, Shomi suddenly took the pregnancy test report and showed up before her, declaring with confidence and pride, "I'm pregnant. It's time to hand over your position as Mrs. John." When she saw the report, one felt that the faith she had on Jungkook and their relationship by deceiving herself these 3 years was all smashed by reality. Those memories mercilessly showed up in her mind as if reminding her that although she thought that the women before her was despicable and disgusting, the reason she could marry Jungkook was because she was using the same trick too, which was threatening him with the child in her tummy. She disgusted Jungkook just like how the women disgusted her. It was just that someone had repeated her original trick. Jessie, how could that be the same? Jungkook was single when you married him. Yet, Sung obviously knew your existence. And she still wanted to replace you. She's a barefaced bee. Ryan, whatever. They're more or less the same to me. To be honest, I couldn't sleep well every night for these 3 years after marrying Jungkook. No matter how, it's true that he has been forced to marry me back then. And it's good that we get divorced now. I don't owe him anymore. Jessie then continued chastising Jungkook and Sumi, the dirty people, she thought for half an hour. She then brought Ryan to her bedroom when she started to feel sleepy. You can stay here with me from today onwards. My boyfriend's not here